Hey guys, take a look at this. This is a beautiful chili relleno. This is a poblano that's stuffed with cheese and avocado and topped with a bit of tomato. Isn't that gorgeous? Tell you what, give one of these a try and you're going to be blown away at these spectacular flavors that you get from this. Hey guys, welcome to Texas Cooking Today. Hey, this episode we're going to be making a baked avocado chili relleno. Now, what does chili relleno mean? That just means it's relleno, means stuffed, okay? So we're gonna stuff a chili, we're gonna bake it. It's gonna be stuffed with cheese and avocado, and it's gonna be delicious. So let's check out this wonderful ingredients that I have here and make the best tasting stuffed chili that you'll ever put in your mouth. Come over here. Okay guys, very simple, basic ingredients here. Not a whole lot of them. This is an easy dish to do. It makes a great side dish, or you can use this as a main with some other things with it. Either way, it's fantastic. Good vegetarian dish here, or just like I said, a nice side dish. Chili relleno, what that is, that means chili stuffed. Relleno just means stuffed, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this beautiful poblano chili, and I like to use these things, guys. They are the best tasting chilies. They're thick and meaty. They got a lot there to eat, and also the flavor on them is absolutely divine, okay? Now, if somebody tells you that that's an ancho, tell them that they're sadly mistaken. Ancho is when you take this and dry it out. One of these dried is an ancho. One of these fresh is a poblano, okay? Now, poblano chili, and we're gonna stuff it with some diced avocado and cheese. That's right, I'm using a nice yellow cheese this time. This is a Tex-Mex version of this. The beautiful thing about this cheese is the sharpness of it contrasts so beautifully well with the flavor of the poblano and the smooth creaminess of the avocado. Wait till you try it. And then on top, we're gonna give it some color with some beautiful grape tomatoes. We're going to slice these up into nice little rings and lay them across there and make it pretty. Okay, so let's get on to preparing this. What we need to do to start this is to scorch the skin off of this. That's not hard to do. I'll show it to you next. The next thing we need to do is to go ahead and remove the skin from our chili. The skin that's on this isn't going to be so pleasant after it's baked. So what I want to do is to get pretty much as much of that off of there as I can. It doesn't have to be every bit of it, but the majority of at least 90%, definitely so. Okay. On this chili, to do that, all I have to do is place it directly on an open flame. If you have electric cooking, or let's say, you know, one of those inductive heat tops, then I would like to apologize. Your life is probably wanting and lacking because you don't cook on gas. I'm sorry, I'm just being a smart aleck. The fact of it is, you can put those under your broiler, okay? You can also put this in a gas grill and cook it off really fast. Or if you've got a torch, just break out a nice little propane torch and go to cooking off that skin. And what I'll do is I'll start it on the burner and finish it with my torch. Don't worry about placing one of these directly on a burner. It's not going to burn it or hurt it. It will actually give it a little bit of a good flavor, this charring process. In a moment, we're going to hear that start crackling and popping. There it goes. Even on a direct flame like that, it takes it a moment. Now what's happening there, what you're listening to, that popping, that crackling, that is the skin blistering and snapping as it stretches tight. So what we see there are some little blisters that you see on the chili there. And I'm going to blister it all across there. And when I'm finished, it's going to be basically black all over. Now this partially cooks it. And because you're partially cooking it, it's going to soften it a little bit. You don't want to cook it too much in this process, okay? So if you're using a broiler, heat it just enough to cause the skin to pop and snap a bit. Then after it gets good and hot, throw it down in a plastic bag. Let it sit in there and sweat for about 10 minutes, and that skin will peel right off. Okay, that's an easy way of doing it. I like doing the scorch and wash method. Either way provides good results. One of the reasons it's nice to go ahead and partially cook these things off in this process of cooking the skin off, it softens the chili and makes it easier to work. Right now it's kind of hard, kind of stiff. You know, the same way bell peppers are. They get really stiff at first, and then, you know, over time they will soften once they're being cooked. So you want to do some of that softening so this is easier to handle and work with here in a little bit. It makes the skin and the meat both pliable. I should say it's actually the meat it's making pliable. It's cooking the skin off of it. When it comes to poblanos, are they too hot? Well, I think it depends on the poblano. The only way I've ever been able to tell one poblano, the heat of one poblano from another, was by opening it up and looking at the seeds on the inside. I've noticed that the ones that have darker seeds, as a general rule, they're a little bit hotter, okay? That's the only way I've been able to tell. From the outside of the poblano, unless it's starting to turn ripe or red, you can't really tell. One green one could be mild, the next green one could be a little bit hotter. They're never anywhere as hot as a jalapeno, but they do get hot. Now the reason I like to use my torch on this when I'm doing this is areas of this that don't want to burn off easily on the burner, the torch will get to quickly and easily. And I'm trying to get some of that tip done on the other side. Once you get to a point where it's getting difficult to get the ends, go ahead and use your torch. This is why it's nice to have a nice little propane torch in the kitchen. Don't spend a lot for these. It's scorched all the way around. Let's put it in the sink, wash off that excess skin. Before I get this going, I want to tell you, what I'm going to do is wash the skin off, and when I'm done, I'm going to put my finger through the side of it and pull down to make a slit, and it'll tear open quite easily and nice and straight. And then at the top, there's a little bitty seed pod. All you have to do is just pinch that seed pod, and those seeds will pop right out of there. See how readily that skin washes off. There are some chefs that would chastise me for doing such a thing. They'd say, you're washing out all the flavor. Well, the truth of the matter is the poblano is packed with flavor. And what little bit of oils reside under that outer skin is a minor amount of flavor compared to what's up inside of this. So I don't lose any sleep about such things. As I mentioned before, I'm going to push my finger through that side. I just poked a hole in it. Now I'm going to slide my finger down, just like so, and it gives me this little slit. In the top, as I said before, is that seed pod. You just reach up in there and give it a light pinch, and all of those seeds pop free. There they come, washing out. See that? Wasn't that easy? Now don't pull down on these little veins. If you do, you can tear your poblano from the inside. Pull up on them if you want to remove them. And when I say pull up, pull towards the stem, because if you pull them down, it'll rip. Okay, now all I have to do, take this and pat it dry, stuff it, oil it, and let's get it in the oven. Yummy. Okay guys, now we need to do our avocado. Now if you're not that familiar with avocados or how to work with them, you're about to get your lesson right here. First of all, how to know if they're ripe? Well, they should be just slightly soft, but they shouldn't be like mushy, okay? You don't want them feeling like an ultra soft peach, okay? And it still needs some firmness, but slightly soft, not hard. Also, pull back on the stem. It should pop off easily, and it should be a light color under there, either a light tan or green. Now this is a greenish color. This is a good, fresh, but yet ripe avocado. Now, what we're going to have to do is to dice this little guy, and I'm going to slide my knife into it up to the pit, and you'll feel the pit, it's hard inside. Rotate your knife over the top just slightly, under the bottom and around. There we go. We've halved it. Now, the next thing I want to do is to get this pit out, and the easiest way is to catch it on the edge of your blade. Choke up on your blade and gently drive it into that pit. If you feel safer doing it flat like this, do it flat. I've been doing it for many years. There we go, it's out on the edge. I just rake this off on the edge of my sink, and that usually takes care of knocking it off. There we go. Next thing we need to do is peel this guy. That's right, you heard me, I said peel it. Very gently, we grab that skin. We're going to pull it right off the outside. See how easy that is? There we go. There's one half. Did you ever think it would be that easy? The first thing I need to do to get this into some nice dice is I want to make a cross cut. And I want to make just a single cross cut on this, just like so. And that way I kind of open it up. See that? Isn't that cool? To finish dicing, simple cuts just like so. Remember, when pulling that knife back, keep it in touch with the board so it doesn't come up and cut your finger. Now, cross. Move him out of my way and do the other side the exact same way. Having your knife just ultra sharp is the best way to do this also. Even though the avocado is very tender and soft, a dull knife is just going to mangle it. A sharp knife will make it look pretty. There. Now let's take our poblano, and I need to put it on a small pan. And the first thing, I want to take this with the slit, put the slit side down, hit it with a little bit of oil. Okay, it doesn't take a lot. You're just trying to coat the outside of this. And this does two things. It gives a little bit of flavor to that chili, but also it's going to help keep it from drying out. As I say, it doesn't take a lot of oil. It'll keep it from sticking to the sheet, I guess. We need to go ahead and stuff this. Let's take that beautiful avocado that we diced up. Look at this. Look how that comes apart. Isn't that nice? I want to just put it right down inside of my chili. So let's break it apart like so and put them right up in there. Talk about easy, huh? Easy peasy. That other half. Now the neat thing, you know, and the reason I like to break that up is I like to get all those little squares, those little cubes up in there in a weird random fashion, and that way the cheese just kind of flows right down through them. Oh, delicious. Let's go ahead and put our cheese in this. Yeah. I want you to remember that your chili's already partially cooked. So all we have to do is finish the cooking on the chili. The avocado can be eaten raw. It doesn't actually have to be cooked. And so can the chili, actually. But we'd also need to melt that cheese. So I'm looking just to heat this all the way through, to melt the cheese, and get the rest of that in there, the avocado. Time to bake that in the oven. We're going to put it in there at 375 degrees, and it's really not going to take that long. You're just looking for the cheese to thoroughly melt on this, and once it is, it's ready to eat. Our chili relleno will be out of the oven before too long. So while I'm waiting, I want to take some of these beautiful grape tomatoes, and I want to slice them. And I just want to make some nice thin little slices. We're going to use these to decorate out the top of our relleno. And one thing's for sure, if you're going to be slicing up little bitty things like this, these little tomatoes that are very soft, then you're going to need a knife that's most capable of doing that. In other words, sharp enough. If you're not sure how to sharpen your knives, watch my show on sharpening. It'll help you. We've got those sliced and ready. As soon as that comes out of the oven, we can garnish it up with those tomatoes and serve it. We have this beautiful thing out of the oven. It's been about 20 minutes now. Get it up off of this plate. Onto this one. There we go. For the next step, we need to get some tomatoes on here. And we're going to pretty this little guy up. One. And what I want is just to have a nice little row down one side. I want to give it visual interest. Isn't that beautiful? If we want, I can stud around the sides of it with more of these and just decorate this up as much as I would like. I've got a little bit of a mess going on, but we're going to clean that up before this is served up. Want that plating to be clean, beautiful, perfect, smooth, even, all that it can be. Well, hey guys, how's that for easy? You just don't get much easier than that. And I tell you what, this, on any day of the week, on anybody's plate, that's impressive, okay? It's a beautiful dish. And the best part is, it's a freaking delicious dish too. Tell you what, it's hard to beat when you get cheese, an avocado, a little tomato, poblano. A slight crispness to the poblano still left. There's a beautiful creaminess from the avocado. And the cheese, the sharpness of it just offsets it. Delicious. Stellar. Sparkling flavors. This is something that you need to hand out to your friends and have at home for yourself. It's a great and easy weeknight kind of dinner. And it's also a fabulous side to any kind of a meal. Give this little guy a try. I'll tell you what, guys, thank you very much for watching Texas Cooking Today. To my subscribers, I would like to say thank you very, very much. And if you haven't subscribed, well, hey guys, what are you waiting for? Now's the time. Great recipes coming out all the time, always unique stuff, and I'm going to show you some of the neatest, coolest techniques that you're going to find anywhere. So watch it right here. You have a good day. Hey guys, thank you for watching Texas Cooking Today. Do appreciate it. If you would, please subscribe. If you liked this, just click like down there, and if you would, I would really appreciate it if you add me to your favorites. Thank you.